Today we'll be showing you how to install an aftermarket muffler on an MB Miata. This install process will apply to basically any bolt-on muffler. In this case we'll be doing a racing beat, but all the other ones that are designed to bolt on will have the same 2-bolt flange right here and the 3-hanger design. First thing we want to do is get the car up in the air. Jack stands on the ground works just as well. This will just be easier for demonstration purposes. The very first thing we want to do is lubricate these exhaust hangers. We got one back here and 2 on the other side. I'll use WD-40 in this case. Any other similar type of lubricant or even soapy water would work in this situation. This is just what we prefer to use. That'll allow the rubber to slip off the middle hanger right there and allow us to slip the new one back on. While the WD-40 is doing its thing, we'll go ahead and get these 17mm nuts out of the way. If you notice, they'll probably be very hard to get out, so we'll use the double wrench technique on here to try to loosen them up. And then that one's loose. In this case, a ratchet or a ratcheting wrench would work out pretty well. Or just do it by hand. Alright, now that's loose. There's going to be a gasket in here. Most of the times you can reuse it. If for some reason the gasket is worn out, you can just replace it with any aftermarket one from a parts store. Anything like that will work with the exhaust and the factory MB mid pipe. Next, we can go ahead and pry the exhaust from these 2 studs. Alright, now that that's loose, all we have is the 3 hangers holding it up, which we'll get to next. And I'm using a pry bar. Usually a bigger pry bar would work a little bit better in this situation, but even this little one works. I'm just leaving the hangers on the car and removing the exhaust from the hangers. On the passenger side, we have 2 of these over here. We have a little bit less to pry on, but we can still. At this point, the exhaust is being held only by this one. So with the last one, we have to be a little bit careful. The muffler is hot. I don't want it falling on me. Luckily, the weight of the muffler will help me pull it off of the last hanger right here. I won't even need to pry on it. So let's get started. And there we go. So here's a comparison between the OEM muffler and the racing beat. Even though the racing beat that we're putting in is a used one, it's still going to be a lot nicer, lighter, and the sound will be much better. Now let's get to it. So for purposes of this installation, we've gone ahead and reused the OEM gasket. We'll order a new one, and then later on we can just pry this back and put a new one back on there. First thing I want to do is get the hangers in place. We'll start with the one that we took off last, since it's still lubricated. In this case, it's helpful to have a second person to help you hold the weight of the muffler up. Now we got hanger number 1 in there. Hanger number 2 is partially in there. So let's go ahead and set the back up over here. So to get it in there, you just have to wrestle them a little bit. I want to go ahead and get this one in there most of the way, and then make sure I can line up my 2 studs, 17mm nuts. Now that I know that these 2 are lined up, I can go ahead and just push the hangers in the rest of the way so I can make sure the muffler is completely aligned. We just want to make sure that it's completely in there so that way it doesn't slip out and that our muffler tip is lined up. Now that everything's in place, we're going to go ahead and start the car up, make sure there's no exhaust leaks from here, and then put the car back on the ground and enjoy the exhaust. And that's a wrap for the install of the Racing Beat muffler on this 2002 Mazda Miata. Like I said, it applies to any 99 to 05 Miata. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you have any more suggestions for other aftermarket installs or OEM upgrades or installs on these cars, just let us know in the comment section below and we'll try to do those in the future. Thank you for watching.